Hey friends, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com, and I want to talk to you about getting more impact in your mixes using a super simple technique. It's called implementing contrast. Contrast is used all over the place in all kinds of mediums, but it's definitely important in music. When one thing sounds dramatically different from another, it could be one section of a song sounds dramatically different from another section. Anything to keep the listener engaged, anything to draw the listener in. That's our job as a mixer, is to draw the listener in so that they are focused and enjoying and engaged with the music, right? So when you're mixing, hopefully you've mixed a song that was well recorded and well arranged so that the contrast is already there. A good arrangement will save your mix because it already contrasts with other parts and it moves and ebbs and flows, and the recording supports that arrangement, and then your job as a mixer would, in theory, be easy. Snap of a finger, couple of tweaks, and it's going to sound good. But in reality, a lot of us are mixing our own material that maybe we didn't arrange very well, maybe we didn't record very well, and we're looking for how to make our mixes pop. Here's a simple way. When you're mixing, think about one main area in the song that you can use contrast. Even if it's just one main thing you can do to show one big contrast in the song. And I want to show you an example. On my recent EP, I wrote very simple songs on this EP because I was using loops in a DAW I've never used before, and I just kept things super simple. And in one song in particular, the title track, What Lies Beyond, it is just a complete repeat of 3 chords. Okay, it's so simple, and the problem is that it leaned on being boring, right? So I listened to the way my verses were recorded, and then compare that to the chorus, and you'll see how kind of similar they are. Here's coming into the verse.
I dream of sapphire skies and golden sunlight in my eyes, but then I wake to this cold and gray. I hear the ocean waves calling to me as they say, journey over the horizon to a bright and brilliant blaze. It's waiting for you. What lies beyond on the other side? My heart, it longs for that paradise that I know I can find if I just leave it all behind and set sail.
Okay, I love the chorus. I love the hook. The strings give it that lift, but it's really not that interesting. Okay, and I was faced with this problem as the artist. So if you can identify with me, if you're recording and mixing your own material, I'm talking to you. I recorded this, and I just didn't know what to do with it, and I was like, I did what I always tell people not to do, because on this EP I was really struggling. I wasn't working the normal way I work. I had my hands tied because I'm crazy and I had a weird challenge on my plate. And so I said, I'll just wait till I get to the mix. I'll figure it out, because I hadn't really figured out how to make this song pop. And I should have figured it out in arranging and recording day, but I didn't. So I loved the chorus. I thought the vocal sounded great. I liked the hook, but I was just really bored with the verse. So I said, you know what? Let's create the contrast in the melody and the vocal on the verse. And I decided to leave the chorus the way it was, with the nice open vocals, and instead go to a very different sounding vocal sound in the verse. And here's what I did. I used crazy effect, super high, fast auto-tune type effect, and a vocal synthesizer. So in Reason, they have the perfect tool for this. It's called Neptune. But it doesn't matter what you're using. I just want to show you how I just went crazy. This plugin is a auto-tune type plugin, real-time pitch correction, and it also has a vocal synth that you can basically create MIDI notes that trigger pitches and give yourself some fake harmonies. So it's on bypass right now. Let me turn it on. And this is what it did to my voice.
I dream of sapphire skies and golden sunlight in my eyes, but then I wake to this cold and gray. bright and brilliant place. It's waiting for you. What lies beyond.
You hear that contrast? That's what mixing is all about. Not only is that effect cool, it's a super tuned vocal. It's two parts. It's the super tuned vocal here.
I dream of sapphire skies and golden sunlight in my eyes.
So an obvious affected auto-tune effect, but then you also add the harmonies underneath it because of the vocal synth.
I dream of sapphire skies and golden sunlight in my eyes. But then I wake,
Right?
ocean waves calling to me as they say.
Those two effects, they thinned out my voice, because anytime you hyper-tune something like that, you lose a lot of the tone and character of your vocal recording. So it made it very robotic sounding, very thin. You lose a lot of the nice harmonics. Instead, it's just a very just lifeless sound, but it's cool. And then the harmonies on top of that add that sort of synthesized robotic element that is very intentionally affected. And you go, oh, that's an interesting sound. And so your ears are keyed into that. And the only point of sharing this is that it's keyed into that so that the moment we cut into the chorus, those chorus vocals, which have not changed, which are not affected, they're just me singing into the microphone, completely contrast with the verse. And that's what makes your ear pop. So take a listen again to the contrast.
Journey over the horizon to a bright and brilliant place. It's waiting for you. What lies beyond on the other side.
Then that rich vocal cuts in and it feels great. It happens again in the end of verse 2. You can just feel that contrast.
But I must risk my life and sacrifice for the promise of my dream. What lies beyond on the other side.
That's it. Contrast. It saved an otherwise mediocre, boring song, in my opinion. And I wrote it. It's okay. You can call it what it is. And it turned it into something you actually want to listen to, which allows the listener to maybe pay attention to other stuff, the lyrics. The end of the song is very cool. There's a lot of cool things happening there, but it doesn't matter how cool the rest of the song is if people tune out because it's flat, meaning it's about the same from verse to chorus to intro. There's nothing that contrasts. There's nothing that pops. And this is the easiest thing to do in mixing. It is so easy. It can be a simple EQ change on a vocal. It can be removing the drums for one section. It can be cutting the kick drum for a verse. It can be taking away a harmony and then bringing back a harmony. It can be panning very mono and then going wide in the chorus. Any of those are good examples of contrast. Okay, I just happen to use a crazy auto-tune vocal synth effect on the vocal in one and then a natural vocal on the other. The point is not what you do. The point is that you find at least one thing in your mix that you can create obvious contrast, and it's going to really, really help you get some pop. And it's free and it's easy, and there's a million ways to do it. And if you listen to good records that you love, you're going to hear contrast. And that's one of the main reasons why those mixes sound so good. I hope that gives you something to think about on your next mix. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the button up top. That way you know when my next video is coming out. If you like the song, you can download the EP completely, name your price, whatever price you want to do. Just go to the link here in the video, GrahamCochran.com, and enjoy. Otherwise, I will see you on another video soon. Take care.